everyone, it's Kirsty the Worsty and welcome to my channel. Ow, what are you doing? Trying to bite me? Are you trying to bite me? Why? Today's topic for Top 5 Wednesday is 5 books to get you out of a reading slump. If you have not heard of Top 5 Wednesday, I will leave the link to the Goodreads group below, as well as Sam's channel, Sam from Thoughtsontomes, because she is the one who hosts it. So let's give her some love and I'll put her in the description as well. So let me start by just talking a little bit about reading slumps in general. So I will usually go into a reading slump if I read a lot, like back to back to back. Like if I have a really good reading month, usually it's kind of followed up with just like a meh one, because I tend to like burn myself out. So these are the things that I go to. This is the types of things that I usually will lean towards if I'm going into a reading slump or if I feel myself falling into one. This is what I do, so I hope you enjoy and I hope that it helps you out next time you're in a reading slump. The book I have is Not That Kind of Girl by Lena Dunham. So I picked up this book when I was in a phase of my life where I did not read very much at all. I rarely read. I only picked this up because I was obsessed with the TV show Girls on HBO and they were having a hiatus. So I just needed like a little like more. I needed like a little pick-me-up from it. So I saw that Lena Dunham had this book out and I was like, sure, you know, like I'll check it out. And I have to say, her voice really truly shines in this. It's so easy to read, super quick. It's very conversational in tone, which I think is something that's good for a reading slump, because when you're in a reading slump, the thing that will help you get out the most is just something that's easy and quick and just, you know, off the cuff, you know, something that's not super intense. So you wouldn't really reach for like high fantasy if you're trying to just get back into the mode of reading. You'd reach for something like this, which is just, it's a combination of essays, so everything's really short. There's a bunch of different sections. This specifically is about Lena's accounts on like love, relationships, friends, sex, like all the things she encounters, and her like charming voice she has. It's delightful. But I just wanted to give you a quick example of the kinds of things that you see in this. Like she has a lot of lists, which I think is nice. Like this is 15 things I've learned from my mother, and it's just a bunch of like anecdotes that she's learned from her mother. I'll read you one of them. If someone doesn't answer your email within 6 hours, it means they hate you. So they're all just kind of funny and silly, and the whole book in itself you can just gobble up in a day or so. Highly recommend this. Other kind of fluffy nonfictions I think are good for reading slumps. Like another book that I have on my shelf that you've probably seen if you've been watching my videos is Holly Madison's Down the Rabbit Hole. Stuff like this where it's just easy to pick up, easy to read. You don't really have to think too much, and that's really good for a reading slump. So, right, so the next book I have to get you out of a reading slump is You by Caroline Kepnes. Seriously, have you not read this yet? If you have not read this yet, please do. It's so good. It's so good. And it doesn't get the hype it deserves. So to get me out of a reading slump personally, and let me know in the comments if this is the kind of things you respond to as well, but I need something gripping, like something that I'm just gonna not want to put down, because that's it. That's what reading slumps are to me. It's when I want to put something down. It's like, even though something's good, I just don't want it. So something like this, you will want this in your life. I'm telling you. Oh my God, from page 1. All right, let me back up. So what it's about. So basically this story is about a stalker who implants himself into the girl he's obsessed with's life. It's so gripping. You will not be able to put this down. Trust me. It's so good. It flies right by. And this got me out of a reading slump I was in about a year ago. And it's just so good. And I just don't understand why no one's talking about it. Seriously, if you've read this book and you love it, like, share some love for it, because I feel so bad. There are books that are way crappier that have like intense followings, and I feel like nobody's read this book, and it's so good. And I would definitely recommend this to get you out of a reading slump, because read it anytime. Read it every day. I'll leave a link to my haul that I did last month if you want to hear me gush a little bit more about this duology, but yes, all the things, so good. All right, so the next book I want to talk about is Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella. Oh my gosh, this book would be great to get you out of a reading slump. I'm telling you, this gets you from page 1. It's hilarious. hilarious. I haven't laughed at a book in so long. It's about a girl who is suffering from anxiety disorders, and she can't leave the house, and when she can, she has to wear dark glasses. She has a really hard time. My cat's doing backflips at the bed, if you were wondering why. I just like darted my eyes over there. He was like flipping. But when I was reading this book, I was just thinking about how funny it was. It inserted so much humor into the lives of this family. You get to learn so much about her parents and her brother. It's just a really, really good, funny, easy read. So good. I also think that it goes by so fast, and some of it's even kind of like a transcript from this documentary she's filming, so it flies. This flies by, and I just know that if you are having trouble with finishing a book, this is it. It starts off so quick, so funny, and just like from the first page, it's like she's got you. You know, I haven't read anything else by Sophie Kinsella, so I can't say if that's something characteristic of her, you know, so if you've read this, maybe you can read other books by her and it will help get you out of your reading slump, but I'm not sure. I've just read this one, but this one is gold. The next thing I want to talk to you guys about reading slumps is more kind of like a genre, and that would be like the mystery thriller genre. Because like I was talking about with you, it's just so much easier to not want to put a book down and to just keep going and push forward if you're like totally involved in the story. Mystery thrillers is a great way to get you out of your reading slump because you don't want to put them down. So then the trick is to find a good one, because you can't spend all this time trying to find a good thriller when you're trying to get out of reading slump. So I would recommend James Patterson for this. I actually wouldn't necessarily recommend Honeymoon. This is just the only James Patterson book I had, so I just wanted to show you, but Honeymoon's okay, but if you're in a reading slump, I would more recommend the Confession series, which I don't have on hand, but the Confession series is basically about this girl, Tandy Angel, who in the middle of the night, her parents die, and she wakes up the next morning, and she's the prime suspect because she's the last person who saw them alive, so it just really takes off from there. It's about her and her two brothers, and everything that they go through. It's actually a series. There's 4 books. I actually stopped in the middle of the series, but it's not because it wasn't good. It was just because the 3rd one hadn't come out yet, so I didn't continue. I definitely would recommend that for a reading slump because it just flies right by. It's so interesting. It's really gripping, and it's good. So I guess an honorable mention for the mystery and thriller genre would be Sidney Sheldon. This specifically is The Best Laid Plans, which is very, very good. You probably haven't heard of this unless you read mysteries that are from the like late 80s, early 90s. I only know about this because my mother does not read. My mother does not read books for fun at all, but she's read every Sidney Sheldon book that's ever been written. So I picked it up when I was in college. I was like, you know what, why do you like this so much, Mom? So I read The Best Laid Plans. It's a really gripping mystery. It's very good. It's about this woman who just basically seeks revenge on this guy, but it's the way it's told is very effortless and very thrilling. And it is not the longest book, so it goes by really fast. But definitely would recommend, especially in a reading slump, because I also read this in a time where I didn't read a lot, so I think that kind of means something when I can actually get excited and finish a book when I didn't want to read it all, so yes. So if I am in a hardcore reading slump and I just can't read, I can't make it work, I will very often reach for a series of unfortunate events. My entire series is at my parents' house, so I have the audiobook for the Austere Academy, so that's what I'm showing you. But yeah, so I will always reach for Lemony Snicket because his writing is just charming, hilarious for middle grade, very easy to read, obviously, because it's for a younger audience, but apparently I wrote my name on this because it's for a younger audience, but I just always feel like Lemony Snicket will never let me down. I can always go back to Lemony Snicket's and it will always be funny, always be easy, and I can pick it up in any part of the series. You know, if I'm feeling, you know, oh, I want to read about a carnival. Well, all right, let's read about the Carnivorous Carnival. Or if you want to read about a boarding school, hey, there you go. There's the Austere Academy. It's just always waiting for you, and it's so diverse and it's easy. That's it, guys, for my Top 5 Wednesday. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I make new videos every Monday. And if you can't get enough of me, you can follow me on all of the social medias. I have Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads. I'm Kirsty the Worsty on all of them except for Twitter. I'm just Kirsty the Worst. And please let me know down below what your favorite books to get you out of a reading slump are. So, alright, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye!